Today I'm giving an overview of Citi ThankYou Points, and we're going to also talk a little bit about one of Citi's lesser-known sweet spots, which is preferred hotels. I'm especially excited about preferred hotels because it has a lot of independent hotels, and I love the opportunity to use points to book unique options. Welcome back to Points for Normal People. I'm Katie, and I believe travel isn't just for the rich. I'm here to share easy-to-follow tips to help you supercharge your travel points so you can pay for entire vacations every year. Citi ThankYou Points as a points ecosystem has been around for a long time, but is still not as well known as programs like Chase Ultimate Rewards and American Express membership rewards. That's not because it's less valuable. I think it's because it's more limited in opportunities to earn Citi ThankYou Points. For instance, there are currently no business cards that allow you to earn Citi ThankYou Points, and only a few personal cards. But a few things have happened in the past year or so to bring it back onto a lot of people's radar again. So in late 2024, Citi added a new hotel loyalty program as a transfer partner, Preferred Hotels. We're going to get more into Preferred Hotels at the end of this episode because it has some really unique redemption options. Then in July 2025, Citi added American Airlines as a transfer partner. This was huge news because no other bank points currency currently transfers to American Airlines. And American Airlines has some really good pricing on award flights, both domestically, but also especially when it comes to international partner award flights. And then right around that same time, Citi added a new card to its ThankYou card lineup called the Citi Strata Elite. All of these factors really increase the visibility and usefulness of this program. So let's talk about what you need to know about earning and redeeming Citi ThankYou Points. There's a lot of similarities to how this program works compared to other bank points programs. So if you've listened to season 1 of this podcast where we went through Chase Ultimate Rewards, you'll have a really good idea for how that program works in general, and you can transfer a lot of that knowledge to how this program works. As of now, there are 3 main cards where you can earn Citi ThankYou Points. The Citi Strata card is a no annual fee card with a modest standard welcome offer of 20,000 points. For a no annual fee card, it actually has arguably some of the best earning categories for everyday spending. Like it earns 3 points per dollar on supermarkets and gas. Now, most people probably won't necessarily get this card straight out because they're going to want to jump to one of the annual fee versions that have bigger welcome offers. But it can be helpful to keep no annual fee versions in mind as a downgrade option. It's also important to note that while the Citi Strata card does allow you to transfer ThankYou points to transfer partners, the rates that it gives you are worse than the cards that have annual fees, and I'll go over those cards next. But if you have only this no annual fee Strata card, your points options will be much more limited and you won't get as much value. The next card up in the tier is the Citi Strata Premier. This is a $95 annual fee card. The bonus on this card has been sitting at 60,000 points after you spend $4,000 in 3 months for a while. But this offer used to go up to 80,000 points sometimes, so I'm hoping that we see that return in the future. When it comes to ongoing earning through spending, this is also a pretty strong card if you're using it for everyday spend. It gives you 3 points per dollar on supermarkets, dining, and gas, as well as air travel and hotels. If you book through Citi Travel, you get 10 points per dollar on hotels, car rentals, and attractions. But it doesn't really have any benefits beyond that. Sure, it does advertise a $100 hotel credit annually, but you need to spend $500 on a hotel in Citi Travel just to get $100 off. So it doesn't offer a lot of ongoing benefit value. And the Citi travel protections aren't great either. So for the trip cancellation coverage to kick in, for instance, you have to book round-trip travel on the card, and all expenses must be paid for either with your card or Citi ThankYou Points. That's pretty restrictive, especially compared to the stronger policies on the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which is what we'd recommend for booking instead. Especially because if you're booking an airline ticket with airline miles and just paying for the taxes and fees with a credit card, the Sapphire's travel protections would kick in on that, where these ones on the Citi Strata Premier would not. The one protection that is really strong on this card is the extended warranty protection, which is for 24 months, where most cards only offer 12 months of extended warranty. But just keep in mind, you'd have to plan to keep this card indefinitely to make sure you'll have access to that benefit. An extended warranty does you no good if you've paid for an item on the card and it breaks during that extended warranty period, but you've already gotten rid of that card. Then beyond the $95 Citi Strata Premier, we now have that Citi Strata Elite. This is the new card I mentioned earlier that was released in summer 2025. And I'll be honest, when I first looked over the card, I didn't pay too much attention to it because my first instinct was that it seemed too hard to make up the annual fee long term. Like the Citi Strata Premier, the travel protections also aren't particularly great and they're limited in usage. But then I looked at it a little bit more closely and realized it does have some great perks that make it a good value for at least the first year that you hold it. The annual fee on this card is $595, so that's the starting point in my mind for the type of value that you need to make up to make it a keeper card. Of course, in the first year, you'd also be earning a welcome offer, but I still think you should be able to find a significant value to make up a good portion of that annual fee. One thing I missed at my very first glance, and one reason why this card makes it easier to make up the annual fee, is that almost all of the perks are based on a calendar year rather than a card member year. When perks are based on a calendar year, that means they reset every year on January 1st. So it can be possible to get benefits 2 or even 3 times in the first 12 months of holding a card. So I'll explain the benefits and then I'll explain more in detail how all that works. So one benefit that's really easy to use is what they call on this card the $200 annual Splurge credit. The way it works is that you pick 2 out of 4 stores they have listed, and as you spend in those areas, you will be given a statement credit up to $200. Once you get to $200 in a calendar year, you don't get anything else. So the stores right now are American Airlines, Best Buy, Future Personal Training, and Live Nation. Live Nation actually also includes Ticketmaster.com. And you might hear that list and on first glance feel like that's not particularly useful to you. But if you select Best Buy, I want to remind you that Best Buy sells a ton of gift cards to all sorts of stores. So a lot of people who got this card just went into a Best Buy and bought $200 worth of a variety of gift cards to trigger this credit. Or you can also buy gift cards online from bestbuy.com. Just keep in mind that you can't buy a Best Buy gift card online because those are actually processed by a third-party site, not by bestbuy.com. People have lots of data points showing that you could buy an Amazon gift card online from Best Buy and that triggered the credit. Just remember, you have to select your Splurge credit store before you make any purchase. The Citi Strata Elite also comes with a $300 annual hotel credit per year. Again, this is calendar year, so you have it whenever you get the card. And then in that first 12 months of holding the card after January 1st, whenever that happens for you, it will reset and you'll have access to it again. Of the premium cards, this is the easiest hotel credit to use because it's broad. You do have to book a 2-night stay, and it does have to be booked via Citi Travel, but there are no brand restrictions. And at this point, Citi Travel is actually powered by Agoda, and the pricing is decent. I like that this is a very flexible credit, not tied to specific hotels like it is with so many other premium cards. So if you can easily use that $300 hotel credit plus the $200 Splurge credit, that does bring your effective annual fee right down to $95, which is great. That puts it at the same effective annual fee as the Citi Strata Premier, but with some additional benefits on top. So this card also has some annual Black Lane credits for a car service, but I will say that generally people found these harder to use and get a good value. It does include a credit for trusted traveler programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry every 4 years. That's very standard on premium cards. It includes a Priority Pass membership and access to Priority Pass lounges for the cardholder and 2 guests. It does not include Priority Pass experiences like Gameway, just to clarify. This Priority Pass lounge membership is actually pretty easy to use, as you can actually just show your Citi Strata Elite card, and that will act as your Priority Pass membership card. Authorized users only cost $75 to add, and they would get their own Priority Pass membership and could also bring 2 guests in. So with the exception of the Ritz-Carlton card, where authorized users are free and get their own Priority Pass membership plus 2 guests, this is really the most affordable option for adding a second Priority Pass membership with guest access. I know someone in the comments might also point out the Bank of America card. There is a Bank of America card that has this option as well. Citi doesn't have its own lounge network like Chase and Capital One and American Express, but this card does include a unique benefit, which is 4 passes per year to American Airlines Admirals Club lounges, which you can access when you fly any oneworld airline, assuming the airport that you're at has an Admirals lounge. A few unique things about these passes are first that these will actually appear in your American Airlines online account. So that's where you need to look for them. It's a QR code. Then once you activate them, they are good for 24 hours. So you can use them for multiple flights, and you can even use them on arrival to a new airport, like when you land. They also allow you to bring up to 3 kids under 18 into the lounge with the adult. So that makes these very family friendly. Officially, the terms say you can't share these and that the cardholder must be present. But in practice, we've found in our community that you can actually just screenshot these and send them to someone else, and then they can just use them. There isn't actually any name listed on the QR code, and I think that that's why sharing has worked, at least so far. The fact that all of these are calendar year credits is especially great news for your first year of card membership, like I said. So let's say you open the card in July. You immediately have access to the Splurge credit, hotel credit, even the Admirals lounge passes. You do have to use them by December 31st because that's when they expire. Then on January 1st, those benefits will reset and you get another $200 Splurge credit, another $300 hotel credit, and another 4 Admirals Club passes. You can even sometimes get 3 years of credits with 1 year of annual fee. And that's what's known in the points world as a triple dip. For a triple dip, you'd open the card in December in the beginning to middle of the month and use your credits very quickly. Then you'd use them again in January once they reset. The third part of the triple dip is the following year. And this works because you have 30 days, even after an annual fee posts, to get a refund on that annual fee if you decide at that point to close or downgrade a card. So the following January, your credits would reset again, and you'd quickly use the credit again. And you likely will have just been charged the annual fee around January 1st. And so you still have 30 days from that point to decide if you want to close or keep or downgrade the card. A lot of people got really excited about the triple dip on the Citi Strata Elite at the end of 2025. And I suspect it might be popular again at the end of 2026. But the triple dip does require more to manage, a little more effort. So just know that anyone can get 2 years of credits, which immediately makes it easier to get more value than that annual fee on this card. The Citi Strata Elite also has some unique earning categories for ongoing spending. Like most premium cards, it has a high incentive, so high bonus earnings for any booking you do via its own travel portal, Citi Travel. It actually earns 12 points per dollar on hotels and cars booked. And while typically I don't always love portal pricing, since Citi's portal is powered by Agoda, we do see pretty good pricing, especially for independent hotels. Sometimes it's still 10% higher, but sometimes it's the same. But at least the prices aren't crazy. Then it earns 6 points per dollar on dining, specifically on Friday and Saturday nights from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So this is kind of an odd perk, but if you dine out on the weekends, it's pretty nice. It's actually even nicer if you are living on the West Coast because you have more time to use those. Otherwise, this card earns 3 points per dollar on dining and then 1.5 points per dollar on everything else. If you really wanted to double down on this ecosystem for everyday spending and earning through that, it would be great to pair this card with the no annual fee Citi Strata, and then you'd be getting across the board 3 points per dollar on supermarkets, dining, and gas. Now, like with some other ecosystems, there are also some cards that you can open that officially earn cash back, but the cash back can be moved over into the ThankYou points if you hold one of these Citi Strata cards. So I'm only going to briefly touch on them, but Citi Double Cash Card allows you to essentially earn 2% back on all purchases. Officially, it's 1% back when you buy something and 1% back when you pay off your card. But if you've been listening, hopefully you're paying off your card in full every month. Citi Custom Cash lets you earn 5 points per dollar on up to $500 on your highest category of spending between restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, travel, streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, or live entertainment. So that one could also be maximized if you spend around $500 a month on one of those categories. You could use that card exclusively for that and be earning 5 points per dollar on that. Now, while that is a fair number of cards, it's 5 cards, because there aren't any business cards, it is kind of hard to earn a lot of points for Citi just through welcome offers. And as you know, welcome offers are my favorite way to earn points fast. So we are just hoping that Citi will continue to expand the offerings and maybe even one day bring back a business card option. But let's get to the fun part, which is how to use these points. Citi does let you share points with another person, but it's important to note that if you do that, those transferred points will expire 90 days after being shared. So you'd only want to do that if you know how you'll use them and that you'll use them pretty quickly. Or at least you know where you want to transfer them. But it's good to know that you do have that option to combine point stashes with family or friends. The general redemption options you have mirror most other bank points currencies, but the sweet spots, of course, are a bit different. So you do have the option to use your points directly in Citi Travel at a rate of 1 cent per point. You can also cash out your points for straight cash back. In kind of an odd twist, you actually get a better cash out rate on 2 of the no annual fee cards, the Citi Double Cash and the Citi Custom Cash. Both of these give you 1 cent per point, whereas that $595 Citi Strata Elite only gives you 0.75 cents per point. There are also some gift cards you can purchase for about 1 cent per point. Sometimes it's slightly better than that with small promotions. And like most bank cards, the highest potential value comes when you transfer these to certain airline or hotel partners. One of my very first videos on YouTube was actually a deep dive into using Citi ThankYou Points for Choice hotels. When you transfer Citi points to Choice, it's actually a 1-to-2 ratio, so effectively they double. Now this sweet spot is still alive and well. Now Choice doesn't have the greatest reputation within the US, but the hotels that I think are a particularly good option tend to be the ones in their Ascend collection. These are often independent hotels, and one of our very favorite hotel stays ever was the Hotel Aquarius in Venice, which we booked with Choice Points. On that same trip, we also spent a few nights at the Hyatt Centric in Murano, which is very close to Venice, but it just felt very corporate. Whereas I really loved the Hotel Aquarius because it was full of local art and glasswork, and it felt a little fun and funky and also historic. When we stayed, we actually paid more in points than it currently costs. But now when I'm looking, I also can't find any suites, which is what we had been able to book. But right now, as an example, most nights cost 20,000 Choice points per night. That means you just need to transfer 10,000 Citi points to Choice to book a night here. And these rooms often go for $250 or more, and they include free breakfast. Again, I'll add that when I booked, I was able to book a room that slept 4, but now it looks like it might just be the smaller rooms that sleep 2 that are available. So a family might need to book 2 rooms here. I also have a map on my blog that shows all the Ascend Collection hotels in the US that allow you to book into a suite with Choice points. It might not be 100% up to date still because we made it a few years ago, but it is still fun to browse for some inspiration. There are some great properties on there, like some cabins near Yellowstone, some rooms on the coast of Oregon, big vacation homes in Big Bear in California, and more. And Choice isn't the only hotel transfer partner. There's another newer sweet spot with preferred hotels. Citi points transfer to preferred hotels at a 1-to-4 ratio. That means if you transfer 1,000 Citi ThankYou points to preferred hotels, you get 4,000 points. Now, this in and of itself doesn't mean anything unless you know what preferred hotels cost. But I will tell you that Capital One also transfers to preferred hotels, but only at a 1-to-2 ratio. So right out of the gate, you can see that this at least is double what Capital One would give you. The Preferred Hotels program is a collection of independent hotels around the world. And right now it seems like there's about 400 of them. So it's a pretty small program. But there are some really great properties. I also want to note that this hotel program is also a little bit funky for booking with points because Preferred Hotels actually also partners with Choice Hotels and allows you to use Choice points to book some of their hotels. But the process for doing that isn't directly on the Choice website or the Preferred Hotel website. And then some of the preferred hotels are only bookable with choice points, and some are only bookable on the preferred site with I prefer points. And on both sites, the search function is cumbersome. But still, there are some good and unique hotel options here. And this is exactly the kind of project that I love to undertake, something where we can make it easier for everyone to wade through these options. So our team has been working on some really great resources to help you explore the options for booking preferred hotels with points. Basically, what we've done is create a database of all the preferred hotels, and our team has gone through them one by one to first of all find the room occupancy as well as what they cost in points. Because one of my pet peeves when I'm trying to find hotel options for my family is not knowing if we can really all fit into one room. So we have those all sorted out so you can really quickly see which hotels you could book for a family and be in one room. Then we also added information on if they can be booked with I prefer points or choice points and how much it costs. And then we have a quick gauge on there what the cash prices are as well. Of course, cash prices can really vary. I'm really excited for this because it means you'll be able to search both the map and the charts to find properties that suit you. I just looked at our list and filtered to properties that sleep 4. And one, for instance, is a property that came up in Waikiki. It sleeps 4. It's called Alohilani Resort Waikiki Beach. So it's 75,000 I prefer points per night. But that means because of the 1-to-4 ratio that you could book 4 nights for 75,000 Citi points. And 4 nights at this property costs about $1,800. Now, at some properties, you do have to pay resort fees. And at this one, you do pay $54 per night resort fee. But still, overall, it gets good reviews. And anytime we have a new option to book new hotels, I think it's a win. And with one welcome offer, you can cover 4 nights in Hawaii for a family. If you're a family, I'd even encourage you to look at some of those hotels that sleep only 2 to 3, because some of them are pretty low priced. There are hotels in Tokyo, for instance, that cost just 50,000 I prefer points per night. So even if you got 2 rooms, that's 100,000 I prefer points per night for those 2 rooms. And then remember, if you transfer 100,000 Citi points to I prefer points, you'd get 400,000. So you could book 2 rooms for 4 nights for 100,000 total Citi points. There's even a castle in Ireland I saw that you can book for 50,000 points per night. And there are also a lot of hotels across the United States. Again, I want to stress that the search function of the Preferred Hotels website is not easy to use. So even if you find a property you like, you might have to hunt and peck for available dates. There is just no easy way to see which dates have rooms available to book with points that we've found so far. You have to select dates and then wait for the next screen to load, which takes a minute. And then if there are rooms available to book with points, then you have to check a little box that says book with I prefer points to see what the options are. But I still think that's worth it if you're in that kind of a mood to look into hotel options. Beyond hotel transfer options, Citi ThankYou Points also transfer to a variety of airline partners. The most notable is American Airlines. This transfer partnership started in July 2025. And if you listen to my previous episode on American Airlines miles, that stated that there were no bank points that transferred to American, which was true at the time, but now Citi does. And that's great news because you can use all of the American Airlines sweet spots now, and you can transfer your Citi ThankYou points to American. Another somewhat niche airline partner is Qantas. This one can be particularly helpful if you're wanting to go to New Zealand on points, because a lot of airlines have very limited availability to New Zealand, but Qantas has pretty reliable availability. There are other airline partners as well, but a lot of them overlap with other programs, so I'm not going to do a deep dive into every single program right now. Before I wrap up, I want to mention a kind of odd affiliate link quirk. As a quick refresher, if you're new here, I support my business almost entirely by credit card affiliate links. That means that if someone applies for a card with my affiliate link, I earn a cash commission. At the same time, I'm committed to sharing the best offers out there, even if they don't earn me a commission. And so far, all that has worked out. I'm so grateful to so many people who take the effort to specifically go to my site before they apply for a card to use my affiliate links. Many cards, I'm able to make it really easy to find my affiliate link for them. Like Chase and Capital One and American Express cards, I can just link right from my site to an affiliate link. Now, there's still a ton of compliance rules I have to follow for those banks, and I have to use very specific language, like it has to say, learn how to apply instead of apply here. But it's pretty easy for someone to follow that and to get to those affiliate links. But there are some banks that have cards that for a variety of reasons, they don't allow me to directly link from my site to their affiliate links. But I still do have affiliate links for these cards. So on the best offer page of my site, we've added a little button at the top that says more affiliate card offers. This will take you to a page that has a list of cards from all of these other banks that I'm not allowed to explicitly link to. I really do appreciate all of your support. I'm committed to keeping all of my resources free, and when you take the extra time to jump through these hoops to use my affiliate links, it helps pay it forward to keep this info free for everyone, and also helps us to be able to create new resources like the preferred hotels map, which took a lot of hours of research. Let's move on to action steps. First, if you have Citi ThankYou points and you're interested in learning more about the preferred hotels options, take a little time to browse our new map and chart. Keep in mind that anytime we release a new map or chart, there are sometimes coding errors that we have to work out or things that we've missed, so please let us know if you find something that doesn't seem right. And also let us know if you find any properties that you think look particularly exciting. If you're a maximizer, you might want to make a mental note or a physical note on your calendar to remind yourself to look into the Citi Strata Elite at the beginning of December when you have a window to triple dip. Like I said, anyone can double dip the benefits on this card, so really it can be a decent option to open at any time. These ThankYou point earning cards aren't included in my 3-year plan if you're in 2-person mode. One of them is included in the 1-person plan, but not until the 3rd year. And so if you're listening to this and you're newer to points, it very well might make sense to just keep all of this information in the back of your head. It's not because I don't think that there are some really valuable redemption options here. It's just that I think it's easier at first to consolidate earning into a few programs and focus there, become an expert in those programs, and then as you gain more experience, to expand out from there. The good news is that the way that the 3-year plan is structured, even after you've finished 3 years, there's still so many more card options and programs to explore and earn points with and travel with. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I look forward to seeing you next time, where we will continue to unlock these secrets of travel points together.